But that one day could have led me staying in Argentina for 7 days. And all I had was my phone, my battery pack, and my wallet. I had on some shorts and a t-shirt. I didn't even have a jacket. And they were like, if one more day or any longer, you would have to have stayed here for over a week.
What are you thinking? Yeah. What are you thinking? Yeah. If you wanna know my thoughts, open your ears when I talk. Yeah. What are you thinking? Hey. What are you thinking? Hey. If you wanna know my thoughts, open your ears when I talk. Yeah.
Welcome back to another edition of the Arnold's Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, Arnold Lewis. I help athletes prepare mentally for a life of overseas basketball. And how do I do that? I prepare you mentally by preparing yourself, by personal development. You cannot develop yourself as a basketball player if you do not first develop yourself. If you are new to the channel and this is your first time to the show, please do me a huge favor and hit the like and subscribe button and share this with a hooper out there who one day wants to play the game of overseas basketball professionally, and tell them your boy Arnold sent you. Let's get into it, man. Starting off with the show, I just like to always start off basically by being grateful. Being grateful for just where I'm at in this position of my life. Being grateful for everything that God has blessed me with. Being grateful for this network. Being grateful for everything that comes towards me. By just thinking and focusing my thoughts on all the great things that I have been blessed with. And that is a life to play overseas basketball. That is a life to be in this game for over 10 years. And that is a life to just do what I love and enjoy. And I say that because a lot of times we get into moments where we just get so frustrated with ourselves as a professional because we want to be so good. We had a game yesterday and we lost the game. We're currently 6-2 right now. Still a pretty good record, but it was to a team that we shouldn't have lost. I didn't play very well, and I find myself being very upset and frustrated because of this player and that player. And it's so easy to get bogged down on the things that can deter our mindset, because the negative thoughts that we put when something happens, we can let that control us and just forget to be grateful for every single thing that we do or everything that we've been blessed with. And we'll let that one moment just blind us for all the things that we are currently going through or currently blessed with in the moment. Like right now, we have one bad game. We lost by 6 points on the road. I didn't play particularly well. Foul trouble all game, never really got in a rhythm. It happens. Are you going to let these little thoughts just ruin your whole day? Because it's been like one bad game and then the next day you're just thinking all day and just upset and just wondering, man, what is going on? Why this person is like that and this player like that? And it's just like, bro, think of the totality of the blessing that you have right now and the opportunity that you have right now to play the game, to be in this moment. And I do not want to let one little situation change or affect what I have going on, my gratefulness. The state, I always like to say that stay in a state of gratefulness because gratefulness makes the heart bigger. It allows you to appreciate everything else that goes on in your life, and in everything that you're asking for and thinking of and focusing on. You are able to be in that state where you can appreciate it because you stay happy, you stay content of what you have in front of you. You stay thanking God for all the situations that you are put in, because it's just a learning situation at the end of it all. We're just learning and growing through every situation, how to handle the situation, how to better handle situations, how do you communicate with someone, how you go about your way to better improve yourself or to not, or some, you have to go through that test again because it is something that you must overcome in order to reach another level. Are you going to let this one moment affect you for the entire day? Or are you going to let it affect you through the night? And that's one of the struggles that especially basketball players in general have. Once they have a bad game, this, like you can't sleep, you're up all night. I am like that I'm still working on. Sometimes when I have not so good game or we lose a game, it affects our entire life so much. You can't sleep, you don't want to eat, you're upset, you're venting, you're talking about it. And I can say I got my frustrations out and I vented. I talked to my friends and I talked to other teammates, and I just vented out my frustration and just got it all out so I can get back to thinking positive and just staying and happy and grateful for still just the joy of being able to play basketball. We can never forget that you get to play professionally. When you make it to playing professionally and you get to live this life, ups and downs are a part of the process. Wins and losses, they're two sides of the coin. You need losses in order to understand how hard you need to go to get your wins. They make the wins just that much sweeter when you have the losses. Yes, we want to go undefeated and we don't want to lose no game. And of course, that's everybody's goal, but that's not really the life. I have never went one season where we have went completely undefeated. We went close. We went 32-2. So it was very, very close, but I still have not reached that pinnacle of where I've just been perfect in a season, or I have not had a game where I've been perfect in one game where I never missed a shot. And I think I heard Gilbert Arenas say that. He's like, you've never been, the rarity of being in a game where you have never missed a shot, or is a game where you've missed every shot, is just not typical. So you just gotta accept all that comes with the game, with the life, with everything that just is in front of you, and just be happy and grateful for it all. So that's why I like to always start off the show with just saying how grateful I am once again to play the game of basketball, for all that it's teaching me as a person, as a man, in situations that I'm getting put in, that I have to let out steam and frustrations and let out ways and find out new ways how I can manage my emotions and my mindset in these different situations. How do I, as a man, grow and be better by my communication with my teammates, with my coach? When I'm put in these situations, when I'm upset, how do I really communicate what I'm feeling, what I want to say? How do I better it? How do I grow from it? How do I learn from it? And how do I move on from it? Because the most important thing is to move on to what's next. And it's always better to keep a positive mindset when going through all of your situations, because they say it takes more muscles to frown than to smile. It takes more muscles to frown than it is to smile. And if you keep smiling and keep a great heart and be happy for just the moments that you even get to experience this, that you even get to have the chance to even be in the life and play this game and just go through these ups and downs. Because there are friends and there are people that are at home that are just sitting around that don't get the opportunity to be here. They don't get the opportunity to play the game. They don't get the chance. And if you're currently playing, or if you're aspiring one day to play professionally, you just can't take it for granted, and you just got to be happy and grateful that you get this opportunity. Even though you're going to be upset at times, that's just life. But never forget that, you know what, when you are more grateful for the opportunity to just touch the basketball again, and you get to go work on your game, and you just go through the process of just getting better, that is a blessing, and that is a gift. And the more you are grateful for that, more gratefulness will be attracted to you, and you will have more experiences like that. You will have more experiences to continue the game, to get the most out of it, to enjoy all the ups and downs of it through it all. With that being said, we're going to move on to our first segment of the show. Are you interested in playing overseas basketball one day? I wish someone would have told me 1 year after college I would receive my first pro gig. I wish someone would have told me that having an agent does not guarantee that you will get hired. I wish someone would have told me being cut from a team, because after 10 years in this game, everyone gets cut from a team. Now, after traveling from over 17 different countries and winning up to 7 championships in my pro career, I've put together the 6 most important traits any player needs before starting their career. So go ahead and grab that ebook and get all the information you need today to start your career. Now you can't say no one didn't let you know. So go ahead, grab that ebook and get started so you can become the pro one day. Let's go. Which is fact over feelings. And the topic of this segment is digging your holes. Or I should say digging your ditches. Ditches, holes, whichever one you want to say. I would probably say digging your ditches or digging your holes. Now I was reading a book, and in that book, I believe it was either The Secret or The Secret Feeling. It's both of these books. Both of these books are basically about manifestation. I know that The Secret has been a very popular book that a lot of people have read. I finally got around to reading it, and I'm so glad that I did. And I've been reading so many books lately. It's like I've just been on a journey of this year. This year has been my year of expanding my consciousness. And how can you expand your consciousness? I believe by gaining more knowledge and gaining a remembrance of what you already are and what you already know. The universe gives us all knowing, all information. We just have to go do the current and the proper processes of remembering that by gaining more information, reading more books, increasing your consciousness and awareness of what is out there. And reading one of these books or hearing this just quote or whatever it was just digging your ditches. And it was just reminding us that whatever it is in life that you want, it will come. You just have to continue doing the work. It was a parable in the Bible, I believe it was, and it was like the men were just in the desert and they were just told to continue digging your ditches because one day it will rain, and you want to have had prepared yourself for when your time comes, for when the time comes, for when the rain falls. You have been preparing yourself, you have been digging your ditches and getting ready for the rain to come. When it rains, it pours, but you want to be ready for when that time comes. You want to be ready for when all of the days that you've been grinding and you've been putting in work, that you will reap your abundance and you will reap the blessings that is made for you, because you have understood, you have taken the time and taken advantage of every process that has came your way to continuously digging your ditches. You have dug your holes. You have prepared yourself for when your time has come. If you are preparing to be a professional player one day, you are digging your ditches by going to the gym on a consistent basis and working on your game. You are studying the game. You are doing film. You are enhancing your craft. You're putting your 10,000 hours in and then another 10 on top of that for the moment that are coming your way. You are staying prepared for everything that comes your way. You are taking the time to say, I know one day my time is coming and I am going to be prepared for when that time comes. I'm not going to wait and then try to dig when the rain is already here. You will want to have 100 ditches dug. You want to have 1,000. So when it is time, you can reap the benefits of all that you deserve because you have put your time in. You have done what is required of you to be able to reap all that is deserving of you. You have put the work in. You have been in the moments of your life that you know that you are expecting. You expected the rain to come. You know it's going to come. You know your time will come. You just have to continuously stay believing in yourself. Stay believing in what it is that you're putting your work in. Stay believing that, you know what, one day my time is going to come and I'm not going to take advantage. I'm going to stay happy. I'm going to stay with that thought and that belief that knowing one day it will arrive. It doesn't matter what day it comes. It just matters that I stay reaping the benefits and digging as much ditches as I can, so when it does come, thank God that my time is not come yet, so that gives me enough time to put more work in for when that time does come. The benefits will be that much greater. You will reap just that much more because you say, you know what? Thank God I have the opportunity to go harder and dig more holes and dig more ditches for myself, for when the rain comes, I can reap a greater prosperity and abundance that is coming my way, because I said, you know what? This is my work time. This is my grind time. This is the time that I get to just pour and just work and focus and read and gain the information and do the work and go through the process and enjoying it, because I know, boy, my time is coming. No matter what anybody says, no matter who tries to throw you off your way and don't make you seem like it's not going to happen, you are just so fixated on the process of that it will happen for me. I know it will happen for me. That belief that I have in myself, that I feel in my soul and in my heart, that this is going to happen for me. Your time is going to come. You just have to stay diligent in your work. You have to stay disciplined in your mind. You have to stay disciplined in your habits. You have to stay disciplined in your growth to know that my time is going to come, and it doesn't matter who believes in me, as long as I believe in me, as long as I know that, you know what, this will not be for nothing. This has a meaning to it. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my soul. I feel it in my fingertips, in my every being, that this is made for me. My moment is waiting for me. I don't have to just think that it's not coming. I just have to continuously prepare myself, just continuously working on it, because the more time that I get to work on it, the greater the moment will be. And then when it comes, you will have so much that you cannot even sustain yourself. It'll be so amazing and so abundant and so gracious, and so you will be just in an influx of amazement of so much that came your way, and you'll be so happy and grateful that, you know what, thank God that I focused and I didn't give up. I didn't stop in the middle of the process. I didn't let my mind overtake me and tell me that, you know what, it's not going to happen and I'm not going to get to where I'm going to. You say, you know what, thank God I got the time to keep grinding. Thank God I didn't have a 15-second moment of fame or 15 minutes of fame that came and went. I am building something sustainable. I'm digging my ditch around my castle that will keep me in protection mode, that will always be there, that will always fill up, that will fuel all that I have that's coming to me. So take this opportunity, take this time to keep working, keep grinding, keep knowing and believing and knowing that everything that you are doing is for a reason, is for a purpose. It is not going unnoticed. You don't have to worry about, is it going to come? You just have to be prepared for when your time comes. Keep digging your ditches. That's all I got for this segment of Fact Over Feelings, man. Keep digging your ditches. That really was resonating with me for a while, and I just felt like I had to really touch on that, because that is so true. We just have to keep grinding and keep working until our time comes. Moving on to the next segment of the show, which is Keys to the Game. And in this segment of Keys to the Game, we're going to be talking about don't get too comfortable. Now, Keys to the Game is a very particular topic because it's all talking about the keys that you need to become a professional basketball player, the things that you should know so you can have an advantage to the game. This is my 10 years worth of experience that I'm trying to give to you guys so you can take it, use it, and get ahead, and you won't fall into the same traps that majority of the players fall into in this point of their careers and their games, that do not let them reap the benefits and have a long, prosperous career. And a lot of guys, I say don't get too comfortable, because a lot of guys in this game get very comfortable. They feel like, you know what? Once I've tasted a little bit of success, I can relax. I can get to a point where I can slack off. I can go out. I can do whatever I want to do. And it don't really matter, because I know that I'm good. I know that I'm straight. And I really bring up this topic on this one because a recent individual I know, I won't name their names, and a lot of times I like talking on these segments, because a lot of the guys, if they actually take the time to listen to this will apply to you. These are the guys who are in the game now. They just believe that just because I'm in the game, I don't have to listen to this type of information, and I don't have to worry about it because they don't apply to me, because I'm already in the game. And that'd be the main topic. That'd be the main people who needs to listen to this information right now, because we think we know everything and we think that we're always straight. And in actuality, we're the main ones who's going through the process to understand that, you know what, we can't get comfortable. We cannot just sit back and just think that, you know what, just because I had me one successful season and I scored 20 points, or I went to the finals and didn't win, and I had me a 2 seasons where I just, I wouldn't even say dominate, but I had me a good scoring season. So that justifies everything that I've been and done. So I don't really have to work as hard. The game is not like that. Every day you have to put in the work and understand that you are on business when you're here. Now, I don't mean that you just can't go out and enjoy yourself. I don't say that you can't enjoy yourself. But you have to understand that this is a business. This is your craft. This is your livelihood. This is what you do to feed yourself, feed your family. This is what you use for your investments. Like most guys in this game, I would say about, I'm gonna give a rough estimate. Let's just say 85% of the guys who are playing professionally are making bare $3,000 to $4,000 on average. So they're not just making a substantial amount of money that's just going to just say, you know what, I never have to work again a day in my life. Most players aren't earning that much money like that to just say, I can just never work a day again in my life after I finish playing basketball. Or I can sit back for 25 years and don't have to do anything else after I finish playing basketball. That is not the case. There are like 1%, 5% of players that can say that. The rest of us have to work. And I see too many times guys get too comfortable. I just play good. I may have the passport. I may be accustomed to playing in this league. I dominated this league one time before. So I'm good. I can just, you know what? I can go out all the time. I can go party all the time. I don't really have to do as much as what it took for me to get here. You lose the hunger. You lose the drive. You lose that go-getting spirit to feel like, you know what, I'm always good. I can have me a good game here and there and everything. I get so upset when I have one bad game. I can go be on the streak where I score 25 for 6 straight games, and I have one game where I just don't play well. Like last game, I had 4 points. Before that, it was 20, 26, 27, 18. Like I was just having a great, then I have one. It's rare. But I feel like, oh man, I gotta get right. And I've been doing this for 10 years. And I believe that's what has made me successful, is just to stay in that hunger mode at all times. Yesterday is gone. It don't matter no more. What I did last season, what I did 2 seasons ago, it does not matter no more. The only thing that matters is what you're doing right now in this current moment. to dominate your craft, to dominate your game, to dominate where you're at in this game. I see a lot of guys, they just, you know what, they find them a good system, they play good here and there, then you know what, I'm into the club, you know what I'm saying? I'm good, I can go party, I can go do what I want to do, and I ain't got to worry about it because we've been winning, I'm used to it, I've been on the team. I'm really speaking on one dude in particular. And I know he don't listen to it, and maybe he should, because I'm talking to you. You got to understand, bro, you can't live that life, you got to let go of that life. It's so crazy because he reached out, his old teammate reached out to him, somebody reached out to me, I reached out to one of my teammates, his teammates reached out to him. It's so fast how the word travels around. And you know what the one word about him was? This guy likes to party. He's this type of person. He likes to be in the club all the time. I just did a recent interview with my teammate, my boy Alante Finna, and he was talking about his story. Y'all go check that out. It's called Unfinished. That was a really great episode. We chopped it up, and he was like, when he was on the team, he got fired because they said he was a party guy, and it was during COVID time, and all he did was stayed in his room and listen to his music too loud. But he got labeled as something, and just that little thing can affect your whole career. Say he lost out on a job for $8,000 a month because he was labeled as this type of person. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying do not enjoy yourself. I'm not saying don't go out. I'm not saying don't enjoy the life that is presented in front of you and just be blessed for what you got. But don't get too comfortable in it. Don't lose your grind and your hunger for each day. I need to go out and dominate. Your lifestyle can't outweigh your habits in this game. Your habits has to be stronger and deeper than this game. You have to be able to navigate them both and understand that you cannot get comfortable. And a lot of times in the teams where you're not making a lot of money, you have to work harder. The game where you're getting $2,000-$3,000 a month, you cannot afford to lose those contracts. You cannot afford to say, I'm not going to play hard. You can't afford that. Why can't you not afford that? Because you lose that money in the middle of the season. You got to sit out 6 months. Then what you going to do? Go back and get a regular job? The risk of getting fired. You can't afford the risk of getting fired because you know what? You have responsibilities at the crib. You got a lot of stuff that you got to take care of. And it's not a lot of money to just be giving up. Jobs just don't come willy-nilly, just out of the blue, and I'm always going to get a job. I'm always going to get another job without, like, no matter what, and I'm just going to be good. That's the mistake of getting too comfortable in this game. So understand that. Don't get too comfortable. Like Future said, don't get too comfortable. Don't get too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Don't get too comfortable. That goes for you guys in the game, bro. Stay on your grind. Stay working hard. Don't take this game for granted, because you get that label put on you and then you ain't gonna find no jobs, and then it's gonna slowly start diminishing. Because coaches talk. They're gonna say, why you got fired? Why you got fired again? Oh, you're a party guy. Oh, you're a guy that's late. You're a lazy guy. You're a guy who thinks that you're bigger than the system. There's so many labels that you get labeled in this game that could be a negative effect on your career. Avoid all that by just saying, you know what, I'm gonna just put the work in one time and get it over with. I'm gonna dedicate however month, 6 months, 7 months of my time and just put in the max amount of effort that I can. Save. Okay, let me go out. Let me limit myself. Let me have a number of times before I say how much time I'm gonna go out. Let me limit myself so I can be fully focused and locked in for this short amount of time and take advantage and fully maximize it. Getting your sleep, getting your rest. All these things matter. Look, man, that's all I got for this segment of Keys to the Game. Don't get too comfortable. Moving on, man, to the main segment of the show. I got a few topics that I want to talk about. I brought up recently about the games, how we had the games. Look, I just want to bring up just like this whole situation with just a show in general, just a show of a testament of just gutting it out and just keep grinding, man. To just do this episode right now, I'm just getting drilled with just so many different complications. First, the audio was messed up. I forgot the settings on the microphone. And on the microphone, if the settings is not right, you hear a lot of static. You hear a lot of the extra noise with the cars passing by, because my apartment is literally right on the road. So you can hear all the extra cars passing by. And then for some reason, the camera gets overheated and you can't record for up to 20 minutes at a time, 30 minutes at a time. It's just a lot of list of things that just say, you know what? I'm going to keep you from stating your message. I'm going to keep you from not being able to put the good word of hope and inspiration and just the information that I believe that is needed in this world, that is needed for the guys who's watching this or anybody that's listening to this. I believe that I have a right and a responsibility to come on here and give them a max amount of information to whoever tunes in and listen. That is my responsibility. That is a gift that God has blessed me with, the opportunity to say if I want to fully maximize it and take advantage of what He wants to express Himself through me. And understanding that, I have to also understand that there are going to be things that want to not let me do that. Many and minor complications. Sometimes we think it's going to be the thing that breaks us is the big thing, like something huge, that problem that's going to happen that makes us just say, okay, I'm done. But it's the constant little nagging of little things that just keep happening that make you just stop, that make you don't continue to pursue what it is that you know you should be doing. It's the little things that just want to stop you, and you just, so when you get aggravated and frustrated and you just say, you know what, I'm just tired of it. It took me 30 minutes to try to figure out the audio, and then as soon as I get going, the camera overheats. I don't even know for this episode if I can continuously with the camera, because I may get 15 minutes in and it overheats and I have to stop for maybe a good 20 minutes and then come back and record again. So sometimes if you might catch a break and you see that it's like a cut, it's because the camera overheated. Because the way the room is set up, it captures so much heat and it makes the camera overheat. It's a brand new camera. Don't even have it for 2 months. But these things happen. Am I going to complain and gripe about it? No. Thank God I got a brand new camera. I'm hella grateful for the camera I got. I'm hella grateful for the microphone that I got. These things are the things that I wanted. I wrote this down on my list of things that I wanted, and look, it manifested right in front of me. I was able to get the camera that I wrote down one day. I want this camera. And lo and behold, I'm using it. So you think I'm going to take the time to be upset that I have exactly what I asked for and start saying, man, this is that? No. I'm going to work with what I got. I'm going to be grateful for what I got, and I'm going to keep pushing on through it. I'm not going to just let little things deter me just because they get difficult at times. It's just some type of solution that, okay, this is what I need to fix. This is not what I need to work on, and this is how I improve the situation on what I've got. Because there's literally nothing that you're going to have that is just going to be picture perfect all the time. There's going to be, even when you get everything that you want, there's going to be something that you have to continually do to maintain it and to keep it continually growing on. Moving on, man. I just had to touch on that. So the last week I had to go and get my visa renewed. I had to go get my visa renewed in Argentina. Where I am at, I'm currently in Osorno, Chile, but I am about an hour and 20 minutes, about an hour and 10 away from the border into Argentina. And there's a town there that people go. It's like a tourist town that a lot of people can go. So for me as a an import, you have a 90-day visa. In that 90-day visa, you have to renew it. And I realized I was coming up on my visa renewal. So the best solution was to just leave, go for a day, cross the border, come back over the border, get a new 90 days. As I've talked about a lot of times, a lot of these management on teams not really going to care about you getting your situation done at a proper time. So I was actually over the time limit by 1 day. So the day that it said it expired was too late. So the day it expired was the 2nd, and I left on the 2nd. So that 1 day caused me to be over my time limit and could cause a lot of situations. Thank God the lady that I went with worked and had people in her corner, or people that she worked with that could pull a few favors, was able to say, hey, you know what? We're just going to bypass the 1 day. But that 1 day could have led me staying in Argentina for 7 days. And all I had was my phone, my battery pack, and my wallet. I had on some shorts and a t-shirt. I didn't even have a jacket. And they were like, if one more day or any longer, you would have to have stayed here for over a week before you're able to re-enter into the country. Because boy, oh boy, this country has so much rules and regulations that are just so far unlike. It's just amazing that just so many different rules and regulations that they have that it's like it's too much. It's too much in my aspect. I don't make the rules. It's their rules, their country. They make their rules and they can abide to it or however they want to. But it's just like so strenuous, just the simplest things that they make so complicated. Once again, it's not my country. They can do whatever they want, but I'm just saying these are just some of the situations that I find myself in over there. Like being here, being overseas, you just find yourself in these weirdo situations. And thank God for good people, because some people that do things that put you in bad situations, like the manager who I asked the guy 10 days before to, hey, please, take care of this. My time is about to run out. Hey, what are we going to do? Hey, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And still, we almost had a major complication. But all situations have a solution, and we was able to find a solution, so I'm grateful for that. And in the time we were riding, going through the border and all that, I'm talking about the roads was just like a winding road. So we didn't just have a straight shot. The roads was terrible. They had a lot of you realize when you get to these foreign countries and stuff like that, and you get into these types of areas, how bad the roads are. So you can't just take off and ride and just ride fast. And whilst we were riding, the lady who was driving us, she was doing 30 miles per hour because she was behind this truck. And she was driving so slow because she was scared to go past them because she didn't know because of an oncoming car. But it was a big truck that was flammable with gas in it and all that. One of those diesel semis that carries gas. And in my head, I was like, why would you want to stay behind this guy in this condition? Me, I'm trying to get over it. And I was like, maybe I am just too impatient. I heard a saying, they say patience is the highest form of discipline. And at that moment, I said, you know what? I need to work on my patience. Because thank God for this lady. She is helping me in all sorts. And I am just so impatient because we're stuck behind this truck and she's driving behind this huge semi that is taking the trip that takes 20 minutes, take an hour. And I was just like, oh my goodness, there's no way we're going to stay behind this truck. As we got to the border, we did our situation. All I was saying, please let us not get stuck behind this truck, because if we get stuck behind this truck, I was saying that because we had practice at a certain time, and I'm like, we're not going to make it back for practice. There's no way I'm going to make it back to practice after dealing with this. But for some reason, her younger daughter was in the back seat. She was like, for goodness sake, Mom, pass the truck. And in my head, I was like, thank God someone else said it. Maybe I thought I was being too impatient, but I was like, thank God she said that, because it was, oh my goodness, astronomically frustrating to sit there. And I'm like, she would literally do 40 miles per hour for the next hour, which will make this a 2-hour trip and I would be losing my crap. I would be losing my mind if we had to stay behind that. So maybe I need to work on my patience. Every moment is a moment to work on your patience. But with that little pep talk from her daughter, she zoomed past them, and she was hitting about 120 kilometers ever since then. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. You ever remember the old Bad Boys when he was like, from now on, that's how you drive. That's how you drive. From now on, that's how you drive. Ain't no more driving like... She started hitting the gas. I was like, thank God. I knew I wasn't tripping. But it just reminded me, I was like, you know what? In that moment, I was like, maybe this is just a moment for me to work on my patience. This is just a moment for me to work on my patience, because patience is the highest form of discipline. Another topic I want to talk about is just how being in this life of overseas basketball, you start to see a lot of players, and you start to understand, I started to understand all the time why they do not be successful. And it's because their game does not translate to overseas basketball type of game. Once again, I'm never going to just pinpoint and talk about some people and point them out. But it just shows that some people's game just does not translate to the life of overseas. But there's a particular way you have to play the game when you come to overseas. You have to play it how they play it. You have to do it the way they do it. Most guys come into this game believing, I can just come in and play the game how I've always played the game. I played it like this on the college level. I played it like this in America. So I can come over here and play the game the way I want to play it. It does not translate like that. Some guys believe just because I could put the ball in the basket, that's going to make me a star. And that's going to solidify everything for me. That does not solidify your job, and that does not make you safe in this game. If you do not understand you have to buy into whatever system that you are in, you will not have a long career. You will not have a career period. You have to understand that every system and every team and every organization are different in some aspects, and you have to buy into whatever system that is, because everything is different. And you have to first change your mindset to adjust to whatever. Talking to one of my homeboys, Jonathan Rodriguez, we had to go tune into his episode. It's called GOAT Talk. 16 championships between the both of us. And he said, well, guys have to realize that teams are not going to adjust to you. You have to adjust to them. Guys, especially guys from the States, that's the biggest issue that they deal with, is they believe that you have to adjust to me because I come from the States. I'm from the crib. I'm the best player. I'm scored the best. You know how many times guys come from overseas and you can score. That doesn't make you just all of a sudden you can come in here and I run the show. That doesn't just give you leeway to think that, you know what, this is mine all of a sudden. I come here to dominate. This is my team. This is my organization. I get to run this however I want to run this. It don't work like that. It does not work like that, and you must understand that you have to let go of that ego part. You have to let go of your ego when you come over here and play this game. You cannot let your ego be your downfall. It cannot be your downfall. Do not let your ego be your downfall, because you do not want to change to the current system of what you've been used to, your last situation, how you played in college, how you played in the pro league, G League, whatever the situation is. You have to understand that you have to change and play their game. Go read the book 48 Laws of Power. Learn how to adjust to the system that you're in. Learn how to play the fool sometimes. Learn how to buy into the system and give them exactly what they want to be successful. It's not always about showing who you are and showing your dominance. Do it in a way that is catered to the environment that you are in. Use your brain to play the game more than your physical gifts. Too many times, guys feel like all I have to do is come here and show I can score the basketball. Let your ego go. Show that who you are. I'm gonna tell you right now, majority of teams, they're looking for a person with high character. That's why I wrote the book. Because I'm teaching you the characteristics of what it takes to be a pro, the traits of what a real pro is like. If you get the traits down, you will go further than a guy that has all the skills because you know how to play the game. I'm giving you the keys to play the game. Go listen to the segment, Keys to the Game. One thing I can talk about to try to give emphasis is what I have been through enough that even 10 years, 7 championships, 6 different teams, 18 different countries. I'm just trying to give you something that someone didn't give me to help me to at least make it 5 years and at least make it 10 years, because you really don't start reaping the benefits until you start getting into 7, 8, 9 years. 6, 7, 8, 9. But you have to last to get there. You have to go get the information. That's why I say I know it's my responsibility to give you the information so you can get all that this life has for you. You can fully reap the benefits of everything this life has for you because you understand the traits. You understand the techniques. You understand how to move like a pro. You can go find 1 million trainers and work on your game and do all this and that and then still don't make it as a pro because you don't understand how to change. You don't know how to play the game inside of the game. You just thinking it. China Talk. Go listen to that episode. I'm talking to the guy. He was like, I'm thinking it's basketball. It had nothing to do with basketball. He's like, I went for 45 points, 15 assists, and they mad at me. They mad at him for scoring the basketball because he didn't know the game inside of the game. He's wondering what's going on. I thought I just came here to play basketball and do what I normally do. They was over here betting on the games and doing their own thing, and he didn't even understand that type of basketball because he didn't understand that environment. He didn't get the right information. He didn't do his due diligence and understanding. But what he did do was go and speak out on the situation to do what? To help the next man, to help the next hooper. I felt like when I was coming up in this game, it was a lot of gatekeeping. Meaning there was no one to turn to say, hey, tell me everything that I need to know about being a professional overseas basketball player. There's guys you can go that are going to tell you about how to talk to teams, write a contract, or like how to reach out. Go check out Jose Colorado. He is doing really well. He's good at telling you, like, if you was a D1, D2, if you're in high school, what you need to do, how you make your film, all this. Great guy. He's a great guy on giving you information on how to get started, what leagues pay this, what to take advantage of, what's the ups and downs that you could look forward to as far as this how much you might get paid, but this is what you should be working on. You might have to take a job for $1,000, but does they pay for all the amenities? You get your own apartment, you get all this, you get your free time. What jobs you should be looking for? I do my best to give you what jobs you can be doing for in your spare time. I'm big on social media. So using your social media to start you another business so you can grow and work on your exit strategy once you leave this game, because I was never working on an exit strategy. It's like we play this game so long and we just think that it's never going to end. We think that we just could play this game and it's going to solve all of our problems, and we're going to have all the money to save us for the rest of our lives, and we don't never have to. Real life is going to hit one day, and then you're going to be right back going. I don't ever want to just say, you know what, I'm done, and then I'm going to go work at UPS. Not putting a knock to nobody, but that's not what I want. Like I said, I'm going to close it up right here, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, greatness is a habit, not a right. That's all I got for this episode. Till next time. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.